Hi girls, how are you doing? Look what a big mess you've made. Really big mess. So Squeak here, unfortunately, has not been feeling well. A while ago she had ventilate and then she went broody and now she's wheezing and sometimes sneezing a little bit. So I think she's just run down and not doing very well. So I brought her indoors to the warmth. And I think I'm going to keep her indoors for a few days, especially as she has Defiance here for company. You're being nice to her, aren't you, Defiance? So there's a hot water bottle under here. You can see it's a bit bouncy and soft that I've put for Squeak. But Squeak does not trust this bouncy surface. She jumped off immediately. Hopefully she'll get used to it soon. But Defiance, I put her down and she's really happy, aren't you, Defiance? She loves it because it is warm. And she was just like, oh, if you put me down here, it must be safe, even though it's bouncy, which she's not used to. And they've got a little bit of pumpkin to eat here, which they only ate the mealworms out of. I scattered some mealworms to try and tempt them. Because it's Halloween today. Happy Halloween. And they've got some suet and just their normal food and water. You're doing better indoors, Squeaky. You're going to keep you warm for a few days. Come on. Good girl. Oopsie. Oopsie. This huge mess here is Squeak's doing. I bought them a tub just so they could feel comfortable and nest in it if they wanted to. And she proceeded to happily make a big, huge mess. I'm trying to set up a workstation for myself a little bit over there. We'll see how that works out because I think these two girls are not going to be happy if I leave them. Plus, I think they'll make a huge mess. You've already made a little bit of a mess. Mr. Snuggles came in to see them earlier, just to see that they were here so that he would know where they are and feel happy. And he made the biggest mess of all. So we're keeping some tissue on hand to clean up. So it's very messy having chickens in the house, but I just need you to get better, Squeaky. She is breathing quite loudly. Poor girl. And here is everybody else. The babies are in their little pen that I've made for them. Mr. Snuggles and both girls are keeping him company. Hello, you guys. How are you doing? You unhappy? Or are you happy in the autumn garden? So these two grumpy girls, you can hear their broody noises. They're still a bit broody, but I took their eggs away yesterday and left them in a different area to try to get rid of their broodiness. And Precious stayed where I put her. Good girl, Precious. I love her little squeaks that she makes. But this girl is far too knows her own mind, I guess. She managed to fight her way free. Come here, sweetie pie. Good girl. And she went back to her nest. But clearly she's decided that there are no eggs there. And today they've come off their nests and have stayed here. Even though the nest is, accessible without any eggs, they've decided their broodiness is over. They've broken it to themselves, which makes me really happy. You can see I've given them some pumpkin there. They haven't really eaten it. You doing all right, Mr. Snuggles? You looking after everyone? They usually don't hang out in this part of the garden, but because the babies are now in a corner here, so they can have a tabletop run for some shelter if it rains, these guys are really good and are keeping them company. You two cuties. You're so good, Mr. Snuggles. You're so good to everyone. You can see that the autumn garden is very full of leaves and mildew, but the chickens are happy, and that's what matters. Right, that's it for today. We'll say goodbye. They don't look like such babies anymore, do they? Back inside of the house, Defiance has decided that the hot water bottle is too bouncy for her or doesn't have enough food for her. You're doing all right there, Defiance. What about this pumpkin? You're not going to eat any pumpkin? And Squeak is really happily preening, or she was, until the suspicious camera came her way. I think she really is happy in here because she hasn't tried to fly to the window once. You're a good girl, Squeaky. You're a good girl. And hopefully a few days indoors and she'll be feeling much better. Yeah? This plant pot is so that they can have roost. Because they do like having little roosts. Okay. Bye, Defiance. She's such a cutie. She never moves away. You're such a cutie, aren't you? Bye.